Welcome to Let's Play Westland Survival. This is your boy, Sheriff's Deputy, Little Hopalong. And I'm an amateur Let's Play video maker. But I found a game that I really want to try. And this is going to be loud. Let's see if we can bring the music down. Down some more. So while this ad comes up, which it's a good idea to watch those or skip them if you can. You can get a lot of different cool basic resources. But again, my name is Little Hopalong, and I'm doing this video. Basically, Westland Survival is pretty much a farming game in the sense that there are a lot of repetitive tasks, repetitive stages, things of that nature. And I'm coming in, I want to be honest, I just thought to do this the other day. I've been playing the game for about 2 months, and I just thought to do this the other day, and I'm already at level 66, but I have invested a decent sum of so do want you to know that, as you see right here, you can collect coins for free. And there are a number of different ways to collect coins, but to make the progress I made, I did spend close to maybe $100 in the last 2 months. I'll explain some of the things I spent money on and let you weigh out the benefits, but right now we're just looking at the basic game functions. So at a higher level, got a lot more stuff, a lot more goals, a lot more enemies, and I just made a great haul on, I believe this was either a shootout or it was bandits attacking the house. Actually, no, I see the bandits are still coming. We'll talk about that soon. But this is your inventory. You see your weapons, your stats, and I'm actually doing this right now to store everything. When the game starts off, you're not going to have a lot of storage, a lot of resources. So one of the first things we're going to do is kind of gear up to go on our first quest, going to the Pine Forest, where we're going to get some of our basic resources. But as you see, I'm still unloading. And I'm going to go through some of the workshops and things and kind of give you an idea of what you have first. You won't have the horse at the beginning. That's a lot of effort, but it's definitely worth it. And then there is the, well, I'm actually trying to figure out getting this wagon. I'm a little ways off from that. But your garden bed. Mostly you're going to start growing corn, which you'll see soon. I just had a great run, so I got some cotton, which becomes important later. I don't think you have the foundry in the beginning. You might, but if you do, the first thing you better get is copper, which you see everyone actually has different components, so it's not just a matter of getting the minerals, but you're also getting different charcoal and things like that. Here's a place to do your basic cooking. That's the first place you're gonna get. Your well, that's also, I think, going to be a basic workshop. The the leather dryer, I think you might have to build this one. We'll come back to what all the resources are when you need them, that sort of thing. For example, the rope is mostly used for those sandbags and those spiked barricades that are protecting the farm from the bandits, which we'll see how effective that is in about a couple of videos. But right now I'm just kind of coming in, checking on the status of some things. This is a table that's being upgraded. You have to get the first table. The room is very small in the beginning. You don't have very much in terms of wood to make floors, and you'll be using straw and wood, I believe, to make walls. So you're going to do some basic farming to get that stuff to expand. Probably one of your first goals is just to make sure that you have storage space. You see I'm in a medium box. collecting some different things I needed to get the horse. We'll talk about those again. But build a box. Box can be on, I think, a straw floor. It gives you 10 slots to hold inventory, and I think you start with a bag, a simple cloth bag that lets you hold 10 items as well. As you play through the game, you can increase your different storage capacities as far as your portable storage, your bag, getting the horse, which counts as storage on the road, and all of the different resources basically. Pretty much level up as you repetitively do the farming. Right now, I am pretty much loading up on some basic things whenever I go out. As the game suggests, you always want to have an axe or a pickaxe, but in the beginning you won't have that. And so it's not bad because you're going to actually go to the pine forest where we're going, and you can kind of do what I call living off the land. You can pick up rocks and sticks to make your first pickaxe, to make your first axe, and from there you can chop down trees to get more wood. You can break up big rocks to make smaller rocks, and then you can kind of repeat that process to keep making sure that you have what they call a gathering tool so that you can even pick up certain items. There are plants, which is what I'm kind of working with now in the laboratory, or I was just working with in the laboratory, that will give you seeds most often. Corn is the first one you're going to see, and you'll also be getting fiber from that same thing, so it actually takes up 2 of your categories. Space is a commodity, remember that. Coming in the beginning, I don't think you have any weapons, so your best bare fist fighting, which you can do. Probably won't see much of that today, but there are weapons lying around as well. Oh, actually, yeah, you can actually make a club using your wood. You can make a torch, which is important at night. We'll talk about that later, using your wood in the beginning. And I believe you can make a sort of spear, wooden spear, but better than bare fist fighting. And then eventually you will have the stone table, which will let you make a stone knife, which I've actually used to kill a bear, which is pretty freaking cool actually. But I think I actually did get to the point too that, being this high up in the level, that I was able to bare fist fight one, but I had a lot of healing items. You notice your food. He does get hungry. He does get thirsty. The horse needs to be fed. That's something we'll talk about later because you're not going to see that in the very beginning. But the food not only takes care of hunger and thirst, but it also heals your body. So my top health points are 850. I forget where you start, honestly, lower hundreds. But you want to have things like those bandages, those potions, and things you saw me trying to make. Good thing is you can actually make those on the fly. There's a thing called a self-made bandage that you can make whenever you go out to the pine forest, which is our first venture. And I would honestly say go to the pine forest before you do anything. Don't waste time going to town. But go to the pine forest. You can pick up medicinal plants, and you can find what do you call it? The most basic cloth that can be made with fiber. And you can combine those two on the road into a self-made bandage. It's the only healing item that you can make and kind of upgrade on the road. Basically, you can take the plants, but their yield as far as health is not as great as when you make it into a bandage and then in turn make it into a potion, which is mixed with water. It takes a lot of water bottles. And then from there you have to mix it with alcohol, which is 3 water bottles with, I think, 3 pieces of corn each to make the alcohol. You mix the alcohol, you mix the potion, you get a salve. Salve is the little jars. I think you'll see those in a second. but they give the most healing according to their respective colors. The lowest being green, the highest being purple, and the middle being orange. As you can imagine, it takes some time to gather all of these plants, but honestly, I think I've recorded about 5 to 8 videos in the last 72 hours. Rainy day in Texas. You can hear the rain. Sorry about that. But rainy day in Texas, and so I just pretty much sat up playing this, and it was one of those things that could really keep you occupied. Definitely for those of us that like to have a lot of different things going on, a lot of different challenges, long-term goals, and be able to tell our own story, shape our own story, which is something I can talk about on and on and on. But at this point, I'm just looking at different stuff to see what I can upgrade. It's kind of helping me to determine my goals, to determine the spending of my resources, thinking about what we already have on hand, what we're going to get in the field, what takes longer to upgrade or build, what can be done while we're gone, and definitely thinking about space. As you see right here, I'm at the max with the leather bag, which took me quite a while to get. Was a very happy day when I got it, but it gives you the most storage. That plus having 2 weapons, one in hand, one in your pocket, and then your 4 items of clothing, which offer a bit of armor. Later we'll see that they actually protect you from the cold, and your gathering tools. So you see here I got health, I got a little bit of health with the food, not much. I've got weapons. I usually try to have some kind of distance weapon, a bow, or a what do you call it, a bow or a gun, but didn't have that, so we're gonna get on out there, and you'd be surprised you might find those. But at any rate, that's the basic walkthrough. Thanks. Like and subscribe.